Hey Stampers, Gator again, and I'm coming back. I've made a little gift box. Oh, what's happened there? I've only just spotted that. Me and my mucky fingers. For the cards I made for the Very Cute and the Walk in Winter, the Walk in the Forest designer series paper. I put mine in cello bags and made my box around my cello bags. And then I realised if you're given a gift box of cards, you don't really need a cello bag because you'll be writing in them to give them away. So this is the one I made first. It's so cute. I made a little snow scene just by adding some Balmy Blue at the top and then Wink of Stella to give it a little shine. I don't know if you can see that. This paper, believe it or not, I didn't want to waste my, because I did a paper share and I got half a pack because I know for a fact if I had a whole pack I wouldn't use it. Now I've only got half a pack, I'm thinking I'd use it. But I used this paper from an old pack. It looks like Snowy Rain because it's got glistening paper. It comes to me as, it just looked like blue snow, so I used it because it goes with the colours of the cardstock. I fussy cut the bears out, and again I just used my blue marker, my light Balmy Blue. It's just to show that they're cold. I love this ribbon. I've got my snowflakes from the One Horse Open Sleigh. This is the stamp. It comes on one big stamp, but I just stamped that one first. And then I stamped the bottom two to cut them out. So I just thought it's so cute. But I'm going to make the next box a little bit smaller. This is my prototype for the smaller one. And if you're American, it will still fit your cards. You've got the cards, the envelopes. 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 6 cards and 6 envelopes. And maybe you get more in there. Maybe you get 8 or even, yeah, I reckon you get another 2 cards in there and 2 envelopes. So a nice pack of 8 cards. So this was my prototype with my old cardstock. So I should really use old cardstock to make my prototypes and then do, instead of wasting all my in colour that's in use now, but it's not really a waste. I think that is beautiful and I would love to present that to somebody, even if you're doing craft fair ideas. And it's got a magnet closure. Don't know if you can hear that, but there we go. It comes across slanted, but when you tilt it right, it's perfectly lined up on both sides and it lines up beautiful. But look at that gorgeous little scene on there. So we're going to make this one and I'm going to use the Balmy Blue. I've already cut my little bear out and I've already stamped my big bear because I did this in my VersaFine because I wanted the really prominent black. I love the Memento black ink, but the VersaFine just for me is perfect. So let's just hope it doesn't smudge. So again, I'm just going around his tushy, in between his arms, maybe down his legs, and I'm going to do a little bit round his front. And it just looks authentic. It just makes it pop because it's white polar bear. So let's fussy cut that while we're here. And don't waste the rest of this. I'm going to use this for my sentiment. Which we'll do in a bit now. So I'll leave that to one side. Let me just quickly fussy cut this bear out. Because it comes with a punch with the bear that's standing up with his foot hanging out. These bears are easy enough to cut out. Just let the paper, you just move the paper and keep the scissors in one spot. And just get him nice little white border all the way around. And you could, if you want to mass produce these, just stamp. That is so cute. So So I've only got a little bit of waste. I'm going to flick them over and pop some dimensionals on, ready for later. I'm going to have one on his head, one by his feet, one between his back and tushy, and the little bear, I'm just going to add 2 on there. So they're prepped. Let's do the stamping actually while we're here, and then we do the box together. It's just so simple. I love that box, it's so cute. I know I made one pretty similar not so long back, but I added a double gatefold inside, so that gave a little bit more interest as well. So I'm using, believe it or not, Blueberry Bushel, because when it's stamped, it's a beautiful blue, but it also looks like night and navy, but there you go. So I literally just stamped the Christmas first. You could use masking paper, but this really does. I'm going to put this one at the bottom. Beautiful. And don't worry if it's got a little mark. You could just grab a pen and use that really stinky cloth to get all the old stuff off. And then I used my clean one. And then what I did is just turned it round. I've got some white bits on it there. And then I just stamped "It's Better." And then I'm going to turn this because I want my "It's Better" on the end as well. So it's less to cut out. I mean, I could have just stamped it all on there, I suppose, but I wanted to make sure they were separate. A little bit pink, but who cares? Who cares? I used to worry about all that, but I got my little trimmer. I'm just going to give that a quick blow. And then I'm going to concentrate on the Christmas first. And because it doesn't, you haven't got nothing to rest on the line, I'm just going to hold it on the line. Hold my finger down and slice. I'm going to get rid of that little bit. I'm going to tidy up that strip there because I should be able to get another Christmas word out of that. And then I'm going to turn it round. Literally, I'm going to line it up on that line. I don't want to give it too much white at the top. So there's my Christmas. And I've got enough there to do another sentiment because I'm a tight ass. I'm not really, I just don't like wasting stuff. So again, I'm going to line up my cardstock. I mean, I could use that on something, but first of all, I'm going to cut out the together. Again, lining it up. And it fits between those two lines. Beautiful. So there's my together. I mean, you can stamp these in different colours as well if you want. I might just take another little fraction off that actually. And then I'm going to slide it in the better. And there it is. Well, I could take a little bit off the top, but I'm not going to. Can't get there, it is. I put that in my little tray. I'm just going to. That works it. If I get that in there, then I've got 1/2 inch. There we go. That's better. Oh, there we go. There we are. Lovely. This is handy for those little. The reason that's bubbly is because I haven't taken the protective layer off the top. But there's my. Do you know I could use just my scissors to thin that one down because don't want too much white showing, because it's going to stand out on that background. And then get more dimensionals. I did use small ones on my other one, so I'm going to put a large one either side, and then I'm going to use the small one just to prop one up in the middle, and then I'm going to use small ones on this one. So I've got my bears ready, I got my sentiment ready. I've got a piece of paper. This is the same, it should be 4.5, because no, my designer series paper is 4 3/8. So let's see if I've got 4. No, I need that 4. Is that right? Yeah, 4 3/8. So 1, 2, 3. So this is only 1.5 inches wide. It's just cheap cardstock, and I'm literally just gonna and where the rough bit is, I'm just gonna turn it over and just flatten it out with a bone folder. And this piece again is the piece we just torn off, but this is going to be my layer, so I'm just going to smooth it out. And what I did is I got my marker pen, my blend even, and I just went along the tip of the top to highlight the hill. You could do this with a light grey. You could do, I did mine while it was on my project, but I'm finding it easier to do it off. So when that goes against there, I've got my little hill. That's so cute. I'm going to do the same on this one. You could dip it in your ink pad, but I haven't fetched my Balmy Blue ink pad over because they're right behind me. I'm going to have to rethink my desk so I can keep them on my desk. I have to get up all the time and it does my back in. So there we go. And now I'm going to add dimensionals. Did I add dimension? No, what I did was I just glued the very bottom and left the top bit so I could poke my little bear behind. So I'll do that now. I will attach this once we've got it onto our box, but literally just add in a small amount of glue. Sorry, I always put my arms out of reach, and then just up the side as if I was doing a little pocket. So up the sides, along the very bottom, and then I'm just gonna glue this. I'm sure we've got dies somewhere to do snow scenes, but I can't remember. I'd have to go through all my stamp sets. But that is absolutely adorable. Now, if you look, because I didn't glue all the way, I can tuck his little bum in there if I want to. So it looks like he's sitting in the snow. I did it with the back end on this bit, just this back little bit. But you get a different shape each time. But that is cute. Or we can leave him on the top just a little bit, and then have the little bear with his feet in the snow, making him look like he's in deep snow. Isn't that just the cutest? And then my Winker Stella. Let's get that. And then I just went along the snowy scene. And it doesn't matter if you go over, because it's a snowy scene. And this there will give me a chance for it to dry. If you need any more, just squirt it out. Lots of sparkle on this one. And I'm just coming down the sides and along the bottom. I'm not doing it all over, but that's how I did that. So I'll leave that to dry somewhere. And look at that glisten. It is soaking. Look at that. So it is a juicy. I've not long filled it up, so it's quite a juicy, what do they call it, Wink Stella. So now to our box making. It is so simple, so quick, so easy. You'll be throwing these out in no time. I've got places on the desk for things. So I use the paper from, I need to cut these down actually. I cut these out after, and then I realised I was going to make a smaller box. So I think these should all be 2 3/8, making sure my rain goes the right way. These should be 4 3/8, yes. Is it 4 3/8 by 3 3/8? So 4 3/8 by 3 3/8. There we go. And then this one should be 4 3/4, which that one is, by 4 3/8. Let me check. I want to cut off the right amount so it's not all. So if I attach that there. Four 3/8. Perfect. Don't worry about the little bits. You can keep them if you want to put them on scrap cards. And then these should be 4 3/8 as well. And these are the side pieces. I didn't put any decoration on the top, but you can. But I did put it down the sides. Entirely up to you. So let's get them leveled off. 4 3/8. Yeah, I've done all my measuring beforehand. So you're going to need 2 pieces. I'll hold it up. This is the designer series paper for the decorating the box, and then this is the box. So the box base is 6 by 11.5, and you're going to score the short side at 1 inch. Then turn it to the long side and score at 4.5, 5.5, 10 and 11. And then for your lid, it's got to be 4.5 by 7, and on the long side you'll score at 1, 2.5 and 3.5. So let's get my scoring friend out. So my long, this is the 6 by 11.5, and I'm going to score this at 1 inch on the short side, and then we're going to turn it to the long side and we're going to score this at 4.5, 5.5. It's so easy. 10 and 11. So that's that one. Easy peasy. And then this one just stays on the long side, and you score this one at 1 inch, 2.5 and 3.5, and that is it. So it's 1, 2.5, 3.5. And then this one is 1 inch on the 6 inch side, turn to the long, 4.5, 5.5, 10 and 11. And I wouldn't know what that was on this, 4 centimeters. I haven't got it. So let's burnish our box. I'm going to use my bone folder and try and keep them level when you're burnishing. Again, keeping my paper nice and straight. And then we've got our 1 inch strip there, and then we've got our 1/2 inch strip. So keeping my finger on the end. I always like to burnish from the centre out. And then what we're going to do is, we're just going to burnish all these score lines now, making sure they're nice and level. I mean, you could round these corners if you didn't want a square front. You could round those corners, or maybe do posh corners. It's entirely up to you. I know everybody loves a little gift boxy especially if they're doing sets of cards. And I know a lot of you girls do craft fairs, so we didn't really have to score this one, but this is going to get tucked into our box just inside. So where this 1-inch strip is, I'm just going to miter those ends just a slight bit, so when we slide it in our box, it's going to perfectly fit. You could glue this right this minute, but I've got a bit of cutting to do. So there's a little flap here on the end, and we're literally going to cut up to the score line and a little miter, and we're going to have just a tiny little miter on that end as well. And then we're going to cut up this one and a little miter. Whoops, that one didn't work out so well, did it? And I'm going to miter that end as well, just a touch. And then we're going to do exactly the same on this one. We're going to go up to the score line, a little miter, up to the score line, and a little. What I tend to do is cut off the score line and then miter in, and that way there's no score line hindering. So let's get rid of these bits. I mean, what I'm going to do now is, what I should have done all along whilst using my glue is use my berry glue, because we're using the very cute stamp set. So this is going to be our join, and that's going to fit there. So with this, it's going to be the back. So we're going to glue this on here, right on the end, and we're going to make sure that crease line stays against here. So you're going to put that on, you're going to glue, and you're going to fetch that across. So let's get our berry glue, because it gives us a bit of wiggle space. And I'm just going to go right along that score line and right along the edge. And then again, I'm going to lay this flat. I'm going to line this up edge to edge, making sure I've got, she says, all fingers and thumbs I am. I need nails. So I'm going to put it up. And then, oh, what's wrong with it? There we go. I've got that right along the edge, and I'm going to just get that. Make sure I can fold that. That's perfect. So we've got a lovely little crease across there. And then we're going to fold this flap, and we're literally just going to put glue on the 1/2-inch strip. I mean, if you want to make a bulk of these, you can make them. Keep them nice and straight. Make sure that's on straight gainer. Don't go pushing it out. Keep them flat pack until you're ready to use them. You could make loads of them, especially if you're going to do a lot for a craft fair. Keep them flat packed, and then when you're ready, you can just pull this forward. I'm adding a little bit of glue just on the tabs, and I'm folding the first one towards me, and then I'm going to turn this round, and I'm going to glue so everything, so the seam is at the back of the lid is at the back, and the back of the bottom of the box is at the back. So right along this edge, and then we can just hold that into place perfectly. And I like the berry glue, you get a little bit of wiggle space. Like you're saying, there is your little box, and then it looks floppy, but this is going to stand up. Let's get our cards. Everything stays in the back. So So that little 1-inch gap now is just going to cut the top of your envelopes, and it's going to stay on our little box just like that. I mean, you could use a belly band. I'm going to use magnets because I did on my other one, and I've already got 2 little magnets, and I've got a glue dot either side, and I want to do that now before I put my paper on. So I'm going to remove the backing. I'll leave that there if anyone wants to zoom in. I'm leaving my cards, and I'm roughly just guessing the center. And then when we come to put our magnet over, we want to line this. Don't want to pull it down. You want to keep it so it's square on. So you could put, I'm going to put a little pencil mark actually. You could get your box, line it up and square it off so it looks square. Because we're going to add designer series paper, I'm not going all the way to the edge because my paper won't fit, but I'm just going to put a mark in the center along the lid, and that's where my lid needs to come, and to keep it straight edge to edge, and it keeps my little box perfectly square on. And then I just dropped my my pencil. I'm going to remove the backing. And you don't want to be adding that little glue dot's perfect. You don't want to be adding extra, so don't let it flop down yet until you've lined it up. And you've got your fingers either side, and then you can just press that down. And then you can look. It will go skew if your box is not. I'm quite heavy-handed, but this is not the best and the thickest cardstock in the world, but I like my 200 GSM, otherwise I'd have made it in white. And then there is, now if I can find my little rubber on the pencil, make sure it's clean, and then I can just rub them. I don't have to, it's going to get hidden with the designer series paper. I just wanted an excuse to pick my pencil up off the floor. So, like I'm saying, you could use the paper that comes in the pack. But now I've got that beautiful designer. It looks like snowy rain to me, and that's the only reason I'm using it. And it's from... It's from Rain or Shine. So, I use this one. There is another one in there, but that's Clouds. Sure there's another one, I can't remember. Oh, there. But this looks like rain. It looks like, mind you, that looks white, but it looks like a thundery day, so I didn't use that piece. I definitely but look for papers so you don't waste the new stuff on your new boxes unless you want to. I just used papers that were retired that I might not ever use again. Or if I do, it won't be very often. Nobody's going to see the back. And if you want to add an extra strip on the top, you're more than welcome. So I'm using my berry glue. And I'm making sure the drops are coming down and not up. And I'm just going to give myself a cute little border. And now this is dry. This is our little wintry scene, and I'm just going to glue this down as well. Perfect. And I'm not going to the bottom of the box, I'm going to the bottom of the designer series paper. And I like that wiggle space. Oh, isn't that starting to look cute already? I'm going to add the rest of my designer series paper. Now, I've got a heavy downfall here, so I'm going to put my heavy downfall on the inside. And it's only to hide the magnet. You could use a tape runner if you've got one. But I'm just giving that a nice even, and I'm going to smooth it out with my bone folder because I don't want it to bulk up where my, and if you notice I come down about 3/4 of an inch for the center of the magnet because I don't want my paper bulking open like now. I'm just going to keep smoothing that so it conceals it. And I got a little gap there. I don't like it, so there we go. Isn't that cute? Turn this to the side, making sure my downpour is still. It looked more like snowy rain to me, like sleet. How's that? You can have sleet out in there. Oh, that's short. Oh, I've made them a little bit short. Oh, wait there now. Have I got any more of that paper? I just made a boo-boo. I have, but it's the thinnest strip ever. And I don't think it's as wide. No, look at that. Oh well, I've got short bits on the side. Nobody's going to really notice. Apart from me. I should have done them they should have been 4 3/4, not 4 3/8, because that's the 4 3/8 way. Gaynor made a boo-boo and did that 4 3/8 that way. Oh, what a silly sausage. I should have just, oh, where's the bits? Oh, they're in the bin now. I could have glued those bits back on. But I'm not going rooting in the bin now, just for those 2 little squares. Just check, I've got that down a little bit more. Oh well, and then we can put our smaller downpour on there. What a silly sausage. My bag has got quite a lot of paper in it. I don't think I'll find those 3/8 of an inch pieces of designer series paper. You could put some embellishments on the side if you want. Don't do what I just did. So I'll rewrite that now so you know not to make that silly mistake I just made. So making sure your paper all lines up both sides. There we go. That is so cute. I love it. So right, it's 4 and these, the 2 here, I put there 4 3/8, and it's 4 3/4. No, it's 4 8. Well, yeah, I've got it right there. Look, that is 4 3/8. It's right, 7/8 by 4 3/4. So it is that 4 3/4. This piece is 4 3/8 by 4 3/4, and these 2 pieces are 3 3/8 by 4 3/8. Oh, Gaynor had it right in the first place. I just don't know why I chopped it off. So there is this beautiful little box. I'm going to put my glue away. I mean, I was before I put everything together, I was like getting my ribbon. Where is it now? I've tucked it away. I was doing this. Could I put a handle on? And I'm thinking you only get 5 meters of this stuff. You could if you wanted to, but I'm not going to. I don't want to waste it. It's so cute. So this time I'm just going to try my bow on my bow maker because I did it freehand and I want to make sure that I twist that so I've got my little tails going the right way. So under the I'll get that under then, and then I can twist this one so when I do my tails it should fall the right way. Does it? No, I need to turn it back. Oh, Gaynor, come on. I didn't tie it tight, so right, give myself a little bit more space. Tuck that under, come around. It's that one I want to twist. That's it. I'm going to pull it tight. So I've got my cute little bow. It's not the same as the one I've got on with freehand, but it's still cute. Get my ribbon scissors because I don't want to blunt. And I'm just going to cut the opposite way. That is cute. And so I've only got that much waste. I don't like wasting these. Because it's so thick, they only give you 5 yards. On most of the others you get 10. So it's precious. I don't want to waste it. And then what I do, just grab, and I'm just going to grab the end. And I'm just going to tuck it into bed so it doesn't run all over the place. So, ribbon scissors away. Paper scissors away. Bone folder away for a minute. Bow maker away. And I'm going to add a strip of it's Mazukkwong tape, but it's like tear tape, but it's thinner. So I'm just making sure I go right across the back of the bow. I'm going to pull that off, and I'm going to position my bow just about 1/2 inch up. It's not the bestest bow, but because I've got tape all the way along, I can manipulate it to stick up a little bit, oh, she says. There we go. It's not too bad. It'll do. And then if you wanted, you could put a glue dot under either side. Now my tails are all out of shape. Just going to cut another tiny little bit off there. That's leveled it off. Woof! Did I use gems? I did. So now our bears, I'm just going to get my little pot. And I'm going to sit his bum just in the snowy scene again. Just a tuck. And pop him on there. And then the little one. Oh, this is just so cute. I do like polar bears. They're so cute. And I'm going to tuck his little feet so it looks like he's walking in deep snow. Isn't that just adorable? I love it. And then we can start adding. You could even stagger this now. Christmas is better together. I might do that actually. I might stagger this. We could do it on a slant even. It's entirely up to you, but I think I'm going to keep them straight. But knowing my luck, I'll change my mind before we get there. No, I'm going to keep it straight. I'm going to do the together. I'm going to slant the better, and then I'm going to do the Christmas straight. So I'm just going to pull it down, girls. Christmas, and then I'm going to do it's better together like that. With the other one, I did them side by side just to fill up the box. I mean, I could do that in there and chop a bit more off, but I'm not going to do that this time. I am going to cut a little bit off though. Looks a little bit long. Perfect. I've probably just gone through the dimensional as well. Yeah, look, chop chop. I'm going to pull those off. And I've got inky fingers, so the backings are sticking to me. And then I'm just going to go in between the two straight ones. How cute is that? Look at that. Christmas is better together. Now I've got my snowflakes. And I got a rip packet. So I'm just going to pull. I've got my larger ones under there. I'm going to add a snowflake there. Then I've got the other two sizes. I've got one here, and I'm going to put that there, and then the smaller one I'm going to put right next to him. And you know me and sequins, I ain't fussed on the little hole in the centre. Plus, it's a pale background, so it's quite hard to see those snowflakes. So, what's happening there? So I'm going to put a little rhinestone, only the cheap ones I buy, in the centre of my snowflakes. Just so you know they're snowflakes and that they're decorated. There's a little bit of tape coming off there. DSP, so let me just tuck that into bed. I don't want that destroying my little box, making sure it's all glued on everywhere else. But there we go. That is my very cute set of 6 Christmas cards in a beautiful gift box. Look, see, it depends how you pick it up, but if you pick it up on the back of your hand, it's straight. We've got our beautiful cards, and then we've got, I mean, you could put a strip in there as well, but that is the top of your box. This is the one I've just made with you. That fits cards and envelopes, and my one fits cards, envelopes and cello bags. What made me think of that, I don't know. But if you were selling them as a set, someone would use them. They don't need the cello bags, but because I'd already made it, again, these are the designer series paper. You'll need one at 4 3/8 by 4 3/4, 2 at 7/8 by 4 3/4, and 2 at 3 3/8 by 4 3/8. Your box is 6 by 11. Your lid is 4.5 by 7. Long side 4.5, 5.5, 10, 11. Short side 1 inch, and then the long side on the lid is 1, 2.5, and 3.5. And there are your measures. So press pause, go get your stuff, rewind the video, and we'll make it together. But there we have it, my beautiful gift boxes for my beautiful cards. And I can turn this into another one, just put a different colour lid on. But there we go. And like I'm saying, if you don't want to if you don't fold the bottoms up, you can make them flat pack. You could do any card bundle, and then when you're ready to put your cards and envelopes together, just glue the bottom of the box, and you could keep them for easy storage. So there we have it. I hope you've enjoyed. I've enjoyed making it. I love making 3D projects as well for you girls. Just love it. They're so cute. Do you prefer that sentiment that way, or do you prefer this one? See, because that's tight because of the cello bags. And I've done this one because if you look, I don't think I've squared that one up so well. It just needed squaring up a tiny little bit more. But this one was squared up beautiful. So it's a proper shape. But there we go. My beautiful gift boxes. Our measurements, our gems, our ribbon, our beautiful, beautiful polar bears. And you could add a bit of Winker Stella on their backs as well if you want for shininess. But there we go. Hope you've enjoyed. Let me adjust my light. That's better. There, we got more light. So come back on the next video. Take care, my darlings. All glory to our great Lord and Saviour Jesus Christ, giving me this talent so I can share it with all you beautiful people. And yeah, come to Christ. He's wonderful. Take care. God bless. Bye.